Please do not use Afterpay and Klarna to buy makeup at Sephora. Once you know what's possible, you start seeing the possibilities everywhere. It is Financial Literacy Month, and I thought, what better time than to talk to my girls about financial literacy, to talk about financial abundance, to talk about financially leveling up than right now. And also the Holy Spirit was definitely guiding me to talk about this, so here we are. To preface this, I'm not an expert or anything. These are the things that I learned in my journey to financial literacy and wealth since I started this research at 19. So some background on my vision board in 2020, I put that I had a desire to be debt free. I was in about like $4,000 to $6,000, maybe $5,000 or $6,000 of credit card debt at the time, and I had no clue how I was going to do it. But I managed to become debt free by the time 2021 hit. So that was amazing. Very proud of that. I have since had a lapse and I've accumulated a little bit of debt since then, but we're working on getting rid of that. So when I started this journey at like 19, learning about financial literacy, I read some books and I watched YouTube videos. One person whose message I really resonated with was this man named Jaspreet Singh, something like that. Jaspreet Singh. He talks about financial literacy a lot. Like, I would watch his videos constantly. He talked about like debt. He talked about not using debt to purchase consumer goods and just how to not live paycheck to paycheck. And he has really valuable insights that I highly recommend. I also read books like The 4-Hour Work Week and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In the beginning of my journey, I learned about the fact that getting into debt is not the smartest thing to do, and I learned about compound interest, and compound interest is something I'm going to get into further in the video. If you're in your 20s, I highly recommend learning about compound interest and using it to your advantage. Even in your 30s, like, obviously you want to do it as early as possible. Hopefully this video will motivate you to get your money to start making money for you. So first thing I did when I was 19 years old and I wanted to get ahead financially, I wanted to like actually make some moves financially. The first thing I did was I created savings accounts for different goals that I had in mind. I learned that having just one big savings account was not as smart or conducive to using it well and accumulating wealth. If you're using the same bank for your savings and your checking, when you log into your bank account, you can see your savings and you can see your checking. So it's super easy to just transfer money from your savings to your checking so that you could use it. I just realized that that was not the smartest thing to do if you want to actually save money for something and not just a rainy day. And also, my bank account was charging me for a savings account. So I was like, I'm not gonna give you money to save my money while you're making money off of my money. So I just was looking for other alternatives when it came to savings, and that's how I stumbled on this. I use this app called Capital, and it is like a godsend, honestly. Like, I found it in the App Store years and years ago, and basically what they do is they make different savings accounts for different goals. So when I was 19, I had a tattoo fund, which I can actually show you. You can see like your history. Let me show you. So these are my 3 archived savings goals that I made. So the first one was first tattoo, which I made this at 19, and I saved up about, okay, it tells you exactly. I saved $120 to get a tattoo. It took a while to save up all of the money because of the fact that I was literally making $8 an hour, but I made it. And on my 20th birthday, I had saved the $120 that it took to get a tattoo. Unfortunately, I did not get the tattoo, which is actually fortunate. I have 0 tattoos and I'm very happy about that. I don't even know what I was gonna get. It was just young, dumb Marlene. I'm grateful that I did not get that tattoo. And I think God was saving me that night, because the night of my 20th birthday, my car got towed and I used the $120 that I had from my savings account that I would not have had otherwise to pay for this tow. But anyway, back to Capital. So what they do is you link it to your bank and they round up the money that you spend. So for example, if you buy something for $3.55, they're gonna round up the change. They're gonna round up the $3.55 to the next dollar, which makes it $4. So they're gonna save the 45 cents in your account. This is so amazing. Automating your savings, automating your investing is the #1 thing you could do when it comes to building wealth and to getting into the habit of like having money stored away. So it would round up to the nearest dollar. When I had extra money coming in, when I had gotten a raise, I made it round up to the next $2. So like for this one, for example, it's rounded up $1.58. Hopefully that makes sense. They have different ways to fund the account, and they have different savings rules, and the rounding up one was my favorite. They have a set it and forget it, which is just recurring deposits, save a percentage of each credit card purchase. And they had one, this one was also cool. It's a 52-week one, so you increase the amount you save every week for 1 year. This app was one of the main reasons I was able to become more financially abundant, more financially free. This also played into like compound interest because I started this at 20 years old, and they also have an investing section. So my money has been accumulating for the past almost decade at this point. It's amazing. Highly recommend. If you want to build wealth and you want to level up your finances, you need to pay yourself first. When you get paid, if you are just divvying up your money to give to everybody else and you put yourself last, you will always be last when it comes to your financial abundance. Pay yourself first, whatever you can. If you could only start by paying yourself $10 each paycheck, pay yourself $10. Treat yourself like you are a bill. Treat yourself like you are worthy of getting your own money. Like, all these companies don't have to come first. Put yourself first. So set aside a certain amount of money each paycheck and pay yourself first and put it into savings. So that was kind of a long point. Can't hold you. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is do not max out your credit card when you get it. So this is for my girlies who are like 18 to 25 who haven't gotten a credit card yet. If and when you do get one, do not max it out the minute you get it. It's not worth it. I promise you it's not worth it. Only pay for what you can afford. Just put one bill on that credit card and pay it every month. For example, put your gasoline, put your insurance, put one bill on the credit card and pay it every month. And do it on auto pay so that you can build up your credit. I got into credit card debt when I was 18, and I got a Wells Fargo credit card that had a $500 limit. And I went to Forever 21 and I spent like $120, $150. And I just kept spending after that because it felt so good. I was getting the dopamine hit, like, oh my God, look at all this beautiful clothes. Look at all the, can I tell you where that clothes is right now? In the dumpster, probably. In a landfill. I'm really grateful that I had a lower credit card limit than my friends, because I had a friend who had like $1,000 credit card limit, and she was like, why is your limit so low? And I'm like, I don't know, I only make $8 an hour. Like, what are you expecting them to give me? And I literally had no credit at that point. So it's like, I'm not expecting a shit ton. Honestly, $500 was a lot to me at that point. I almost maxed it out. I probably got to like 400 or 350, which was like a very large percentage of my credit limit, of my credit, what do they call it? Credit usage. That's another thing when it comes to credit. You always want to keep your credit usage as low as possible. When I had the highest credit, when I had like a 783 credit score, my credit usage was at like 4%, 3 to 4%. And I had friends who were asking me like, how did you get your credit score so high? I thought you were supposed to keep it at 20%. And 20% is great if you want to just maintain it, but like, it's significantly better to go as low as possible. Keep your credit limit as low as possible. Okay, back to the credit card. So I got almost to my $500 limit, and once I saw that I was not able to pay that credit card in full, so I knew I was supposed to pay it off every month. You're supposed to pay your credit card off every month so you don't carry a balance and you don't have to pay for interest. That's the only way a credit card is useful for you. If you're carrying a balance and you're having to pay interest, you're basically having a loan and you're gonna have a credit card bill on top of your credit card. So once I realized I was not able to pay my credit card in full, I literally cut my credit card with a scissor and I continued to make payments on it without using it. Another tip is, if you are already in credit card debt and you're trying to get rid of it, pay your credit card twice a month instead of just once a month. That's what I did. My minimum payment was $25. I think I started off with $20 per paycheck, which is $40 a month, and then I moved up to like $40 per paycheck, which was $80 a month. So that's credit. We talked about saving, we talked about credit. Now we're going to talk about investing your money. After a certain point, after 3 to 6 months of expenses, 3 months if you're aggressive, 6 months if you're more risk averse, I do not recommend saving anymore. You already have enough saved. Any more that you're saving is just getting eaten away by inflation. It's getting eaten away by the banks not giving you enough money. You're not getting a return on your money. Like, it's just sitting there under a mattress and nothing is happening. And what I talked about earlier was compound interest. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it, and those who don't, pay it. So compound interest is literally incredible. I'm going to show like a graph here, just like a little resource so that you can see how much compound interest really is the catalyst to wealth. You can't save your way to wealth. Your money has to make money. Investing your money allows your money to grow. So instead of you having to work hard for every single dollar you earn, you send your dollars out to go make money for you. It's like they go out and they have little dollar babies and they bring you like the little pennies, and then the pennies turn into dollars, and then the dollars turns into $10 and then $100 and $1,000. And it's actually magical. Albert Einstein calls it the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, earn it, and those who don't, pay it. Listen to Albert Einstein. He knows what he's talking about. Another thing I want to say is do not delude yourself into thinking that you don't have enough money to start investing. I started investing on $5 a week. I was making $8 an hour. $8. And I had to pay rent and pay for groceries. What else did I have to pay? Rent, groceries, my light bill, gas. So I was doing all of that and I was still putting $5 away per week on investing. So if you literally have to start with $5, I don't care, start with $5. Because trust me, if I hadn't done that, I would not be in the position I am today. $5 a week is nothing. Nothing. You have no excuse. Who knows what it's gonna look like 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, 30 years from now. I don't even want to actually take this money out of the market. I literally want to pass down these stocks to my children. And if I'm lucky enough to be able to do that, do you know how well off they're going to be? I can't pass pay stubs to my children. I'm gonna pass down assets. I want to pass down stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I highly recommend you get into investing. I'm not a financial advisor or anything. This is just my personal experience. You can use the stock market. You can use the S&P 500, which is an index of stocks that has 500 of the biggest companies in the US, and it's a little bit of each company that's in one stock, and you're able to purchase a portion of it. I highly recommend it because it's good for people who are like risk averse, people who are conservative and don't want to be aggressive in putting all their money into like one stock, like into Tesla or to Apple. Like it has both Tesla and Apple in it. Like it has all of the big companies in it. So it goes up a little bit slower, but it goes up. It has always gone up at least 6 to 8% per year. So highly recommend. You can invest however you want to invest. Invest in the stock market, invest in a business, invest in yourself, invest in courses, invest in ways that are going to make you money that are not just a 9 to 5, because multiple streams of income is the way. And build one stream before trying to go to another. Once it's stable, then you move on. But if you try to build 7 at once, please. But whatever investment you choose, real estate, stock market, bonds, mutual funds, index funds, business, whatever, the golden rule is that your money needs to be out there making you money. Your money needs to be out there having money babies. It will start as pennies, but you know what? One day it'll be dollars. And you'll be like, damn, $1,000 just came into my from money seeds that I planted 10 years ago. Amazing. Woo, I have a lot to talk about and I have to go soon. So I'm gonna have to speed through these next ones. But of course, if you need a part 2, if I need to clarify or elaborate on anything, I will make another video. Just leave it in the comments what you want to hear, what you want to see. Oh, also, if you made it this far, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like, we're besties now. Like, I'm literally telling you how to make money. Like, are your friends telling you this? No. Let's go. All right. Don't use debt to buy consumer goods. My dad always taught me to never use debt to buy consumer goods. Never use debt to buy things that you can't afford, especially things that are like frivolous, like phones or TVs. Do not use debt to buy makeup at Sephora. Please do not use Afterpay and Klarna to buy makeup at Sephora. Like, that is silly behavior. You're gonna be paying interest on blush? Interest on blush? Please, this iPhone, it's an iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is the first brand new iPhone that I have ever gotten in my entire life. And I've had iPhones since the iPhone 4S. Ever since the iPhone 4S, I have always purchased my iPhones on eBay. I always bought my phones secondhand because I could not afford to buy a brand new iPhone that was like $700, $800, $900, and I was not going to lease the phone and have to pay every month for it. I just didn't see the value in that. So I think that Klarna and Afterpay and all of those apps are normalizing just using debt to buy just the most frivolous things, using debt to buy clothes, and especially not even quality clothes. You're buying fast fashion stuff that literally will disintegrate in the washing machine after 3 to 6 washes, and you're using debt to buy it, and then by the time you're done paying off the debt, it's like you don't even have the clothes, you don't even have the item anymore, you don't even have the clothes anymore. Yeah, don't go into debt to buy lipstick. Don't do it. So the next way to level up your money is to not date broke men. I think that dating broke men will make you broke. If you're a woman dating a man, dating a masculine, your lifestyle falls to the level of their lifestyle. So if they are well off, your lifestyle becomes well off. If they are poor, your lifestyle becomes poor. I have seen more times than not when a woman is out earning her man and she used to go on vacations 3 times a year and he only went on 1 vacation a year, she ended up going on 1 vacation a year because he could only afford 1 vacation a year. So that's just a very simplified version of what I'm trying to say because I don't have a lot of time. But do not date a broke man. Do not date poverty-minded men. Do not date men who say that they can't do this or this is impossible, or like just men who have a fixed mindset and they don't believe that they can get where they need to go, because they're gonna drag you down to their pits of hell. You're gonna go with them. Do not date broke men. That is a financial liability. They're gonna wanna split rent with you. They're gonna wanna go 50-50. You're just gonna be doing a whole lot of labor for, not even for free. You're gonna be paying them to do labor for them. Don't do it. Second to last, we're almost done. Change your mindset. Something that a lot of people overlook and don't take into account is your mindset when it comes to finances. I would have said this first, but I know a lot of people, it could turn people off when I say that your mindset is something that you should work on when it comes to your money. So I saved it a little bit later in the video. But there is a large percentage of lottery winners who hit a jackpot, $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, life-changing money, who go broke after just a few years. And the reason why that happens is because their mindset around money has not changed. They still have that poverty consciousness when it comes to money. So upgrade your consciousness and you'll upgrade your money. So even if you make $100,000 or $500,000 a year, you could be accumulating all of that money and still be in debt, still be living paycheck to paycheck. Like, there are high income earners who live paycheck to paycheck. Look it up. A great way to fix this is to ask yourself hard questions when it comes to your beliefs around money. What did your parents tell you about money? What did you think about people who have money? How do you feel about money? Do you feel icky about money? Do you love money? Ask yourself hard questions. I'm gonna put some here, just like journaling prompts. You could do voice notes, however you wanna do it. Just talk to yourself, figure it out. The beautiful thing about beliefs, once you find out what your beliefs are, you are able to change them. But the last one is to get around people who have money. So this plays into the mindset, because when you are around people who have money, who are wealthy, who grew up wealthy and who are self-made wealthy, their mindset around money is going to be different from yours. If you are someone who has a limiting belief about money, your belief system is going to be different from theirs, and you will see in their life how their belief system has shaped their life and has shaped their finances and the ease and the freedom that they have. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around. So if you're hanging around poverty conscious people who are constantly telling you why you can't do something, get out of that environment and start surrounding yourself around people who are inspired by life, who are motivated by life, who are like, oh my God, I'm gonna get it, like, we got this. And they're already getting it. So it will be very hard for you to break out of poverty-minded consciousness if you are still hanging around people who are poverty-minded, who have fixed mindset. And this is what a fixed mindset is. One of the ways that I started on this journey of leveling up the people around me was I just started to go to grocery stores, restaurants, neighborhoods that had people who were wealthy, people who were making $1 million a year. Like, I would literally be shoulder to shoulder with someone who literally closed like a $10 million deal, and he was talking about, oh yeah, I'm looking at this yacht. Or like people who are traveling through Europe for like 6 months out of the year, people who are buying yachts, people who are looking to close on $10 million homes. These are the people I'm rubbing shoulders with when I go to neighborhoods and areas where wealth is abundant. And once you see that, you realize that, why can't you have that? Like, abundance is everywhere. Why can't I get a bit of it? Like, that lack of mindset, that poverty mindset, is just a mindset. It's a product of your mind. It's a product of society that we live in that tells us that there's not enough for everyone. Last time I checked, when my mango tree grows mangoes, there's way more than I could eat, way more than I could possibly eat. So that is clear evidence that there is abundance in the universe. There's abundance here on earth, and God gave us abundance. And lack mindset and all of that is just it's a working of the enemy, working of the devil. So basically I started to hang out where people that I wanted to be like hung out. Like, I would literally go to the design district. It's like a luxury mall in Miami. There's like Hermes, there's Gucci, there's Louis Vuitton, there's Cartier, like all of these extremely luxury brands, and people are just walking in there and buying stuff and like just frolicking throughout their day. And like, I just was observing them, like observing how they stand, observing how they walk, observing how they interact with each other. I would go to the restaurants in the area, have happy hour, have a drink there, talk to the people, and make friends that way. Like, so a lot of my friends I've made through that era of my life of like solo dating, going out and seeing people and just like talking to people, communicating with people. And now I have friends who literally are are like, hey Merlin, you want to get on a yacht? You want to get on a boat this next week? Free of charge. Get out of your environment, get out of your comfort zone, go places you think that you need to wait to get to. Like, I remember I went to a car dealership and test drove a Range Rover. I used to go to Ball Harbor Shops, which is another luxury mall, and try on clothes that I could not afford, and then a couple months later I was getting gifted those clothes. So I say all that to say, move your environment, move your mindset, and change your life. In conclusion, once you know what's possible, you start seeing the possibilities everywhere. All right, so that is the end of the video. I am ready to go. I am so hungry. My partner is waiting for me right now, and we are going to go get some food. So I hope this video helped you. I hope it gave you some insight. And if there's anything I need to expand on, of course, leave it in the comments and I will be glad to help. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, of course. Like, you made it this far, like, please, like, we're besties. Like, I just taught you how to make money. Like, are you kidding me? Okay, anyway, so gotta go. Bye, love you.